Golden Setups.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Golden Setups. I'm your host, Golden Focus, here with another, not next week's setup, but actually this week's setup. Today is July 4th, 2023, and without any further ado, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to go ahead and start off with Bitcoin. What are we looking at Bitcoin? Last week, and by the way, guys, I really want to encourage you guys to check out all of the next week's setups. I mean, I think I'm like batting somewhere around 70-80% right now in these targets, and so they've been very accurate. They've been very profitable. So definitely go check those out, and make sure you pay some good attention here as well. So let's get back into it. So right now, looking at Bitcoin, what are we looking at? We hit our target strong here from our last setups video. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. We hit that target pretty well. And now what are we looking at? What are we looking at right now? We see that Bitcoin is still in this daily supply zone. You know, could it drop? Could it drop out and then move back up? Well, if it did, here's what I see right now. I see that we have a hard time. Well, here's the thing. Like, if we look historically, you know, we've been below this purple line here, which is the 200-day moving average. We've been below here and comfortably for quite some time. Now, here we are. You can see we're just powering up above. You know, we had a nice little show of weakness here, but then right away, boom, a big shoot up above here. Now here we are bouncing off the 200-day, trying to move up. This bright white line right now that we're looking at, this is a like multi-year drop here, and we finally broke this trend line to the upside. So we may be seeing the beginnings of Bitcoin going all the way back up to its high. This might be the beginnings, and if you're interested in investing, I'd wait for a drop. You know, I personally wait for a drop. But right now, as far as setups for Bitcoin, I really want to see what it's going to do here in this supply zone. If these sell orders are going to kick in and we're going to get a nice drop, if that's the case, hey, I might find myself jumping in and buying some Bitcoin there. Let's go ahead and jump into some of the currency pairs here. Here's USDJPY. All right, are we weak or are we strong? Right now, I gotta say that we're fairly strong. This is the daily. I'm gonna come down to the hourly, and we'll use that as a base moving forward. But still, gotta say that we're looking pretty strong. You know, here's our trend lines that we're looking at right now. You can see we're comfortable above the 200-day moving average. That's this purple line that we have over here. All right, and as far as where we are, let me get a good view on this. There we go. That's what I want to see. All right, as far as where we are right now, we're above the 9, above the 20, above the VWAP, but you can see that we've been just kind of like, you know, just kind of squirming above and below it. So what I'm looking at is if we break up above this trend line right here, I can see us going back up to the high. But if we break down below, first stop is going to be this 200-day moving average, and then the next stop is going to be the trend line below. All right, that's a USD JPY. Let's look at USD and the Canadian dollar. All right, looks like we hit both of these. These are some of my targets. I tried to delete most of them, but some of them are still here. But looks like this is from last week. You know, we actually did come up and hit the target high, and then after that went down and hit the target low, then came back up, hit the target high. You know, that's just a strong target again. So anyways, these triggers were good. These were good triggers. Let's go ahead and jump into what we're looking at right now. We've been pretty comfortable historically, you know, just below the 200-day average. All right, and now here we are trying to work our way back above it, and not doing so well. To be honest. We're looking at this on the hourly. We're below the 9. We're below the 20, and I gotta say that we're looking a little bit weak. If we drop below here, again, we're on the hourly here. If we drop below here, our target, I'm going to say, is our target's going to be somewhere around here, this 1.320.43. That's what I'm looking at right now. So we'll see how that turns out. Let's check out USD and USDCNH. All right, Chinese yuan. Let's see how we're doing there. Same thing here. We've been historically, it's always good to look at where we've been historically. Historically, you know, we've been good and comfortable above the 200-day moving average. That's this purple line here, right? That's his purple line. Doing really good there. So right now as we stand, we're trying to get some strength, right? We're trying to get back up. We did drop below the 200-day moving average. We've done that before over here as well. You can see we dropped down below there, then popped right back up. It's kind of like drowning a ball, drop down below, and here we are trying to pop back up. I do believe we'll get that move back up. These are old targets, and looks like we've reached this target. And I do have a higher target up here, a target strong number 2. And that's there from 2 weeks ago, two videos ago of the next week setups. I do believe that we'll get there. I'm just not sure how clean the ride is going to be. But one thing I am looking at is I'm going to look for a break above this trend line to go ahead and enter into a trade. All right, so that is USD, Chinese yen. Let's look at the euro. All right, same thing here, looking at the euro right now. Yeah, we've been comfortably above the 200-day moving average. You know, we did have a nice dip below and then a big pop up above. Same thing over here. And so we're just kind of figuring out what direction we're going to be moving in. If we're going to be strong, I'm looking for a break above this trend line. All right, and I'm going to be looking to take that, level to level on my way up. My first stop is most likely, should we break above this trend line, my first stop is going to be this 1.09341. All right. But if we are going to be weak, we do have this demand zone down here. You know, could we go ahead and drop down here, pick up some more orders and move up, or could we come down here and continue to drop? Like I said, if I do see a bear flag, I will be looking at possibly getting into, a trade going short and taking it down to the demand zone here. All right, let's check out US 30. All right, US 30 right now is looking weak. We're looking at it on the hourly. We're below the 9, we're below the 20, and these dots, that's the VWAP. We're below the VWAP as well. So we're looking pretty weak, but we're gonna see if this place could hold right here. This place looks to be some bit of support right here. I'm gonna go ahead and create a line there, key level there. And that looks to be a good support there. Let's see if that holds. If that holds, we're going to go ahead and be moving up from here. It'll be a nice little bounce. Otherwise, we could be moving back down to our next level down below, which will bring us right over here, which is our old target, which we did in fact hit from the last video. All right, so that's what I'm looking at for US 30. Let's check out NAS 100. One of my favorite ones to trade here on with MetaTrader. All right, NAS 100, what are we doing right now? Well, let's look at everything historically. Let's look at what's been going on historically, right? So we had a nice little move to the upside here. Sorry for the up and down, but I want you guys to see like the big picture, right? We had a nice big move comfortably above the 200-day moving average. We're on the hourly. All right, we had a nice drop. This is healthy, right? This is what we want to see. We don't want to see things going up forever, then you buy the top and then we move down. You don't want that, right? This is what we want to see. Nice little healthy pullback here, and then after that, here we are, break above, and we're moving up. And so right now, I do believe that we're gonna be hitting this 15,281 target. I do believe that that's gonna be the case. I just don't know how clean it's gonna be, but I do believe that we get there. And I don't want to say without a problem, but right now we can see that we're wedging. We are wedging right now as we speak. So I want to see what we're going to do. Are we going to break down, create a higher low, a higher low, and then after that move up? Or are we just going to go ahead and bounce off of the bottom of this wedge and then make our way to the upside? We got to wait, watch, and see. Let's check out silver. Silver is still, I got to go on a higher time frame to look at silver. Silver still looks to be, this is silver on the daily. Silver still looks to be in this channel. We've been in this channel since we've been doing these videos, and a lot of great opportunities from the bottom into the top. A lot of great opportunities there playing the actual channel. Looks like we still got a little bit more room to reach the bottom. So if we do break this trend line here, we're gonna have an opportunity to go ahead and hit this target week of 22,214. And I'm only saying that simply because if you're playing the channel, we could be making our way back down to the bottom of the channel. Let's check out gold. All right, gold right now is doing something similar, but I got to say that we're on our way up above the 200-day average. But right now, as we speak, looking at gold on the daily, we're below the 9 and below the 20. We've been riding the 9 down, a little bit of a downtrend down, but I am keeping an eye out for this trend line right here. If we're going to be breaking up above that, then we're gonna most likely be moving our way back up to the highs here, roughly around 2071. But if we're not able to do that, we break down below here, we're going to be eating through this demand zone on down. But the big thing to watch out for is this 200-day moving average, which we bounced off of in conjunction with this demand zone. So I'm going to keep an eye out. I'm going to be I like the move to the upside because there's a lot more a lot more clarity. If we're going to get that move to the downside, it's going to have to be a bit violent if we're going to, because we got to get down below this 200-day moving average. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Coinbase. All right, I had to put some levels in here for Coinbase because it was a little difficult for me to see what was going on, but now I can see. All right, so looking at Coinbase, we did have this hourly supply zone. You can see that we're rejecting out of it just ever so slightly. The first time we reject out of this supply zone, you know, our low was all the way down here. All right, second time we had a lower low here. Actually, we came all the way down here. Now here we are for a third time. I don't know if all the sell orders are done. I don't know. So here's what I have these trend lines drawn. All right, and if we break this trend line, we're gonna have a trend line break out of a supply zone. That's gonna be I'm gonna hit an alert, put an alert on this. Yep, only once. Now, by the way, guys, I am gonna be starting a new Discord soon, and I'm gonna talk about that towards the end of the video here. But anyhow, yeah, if we break down below this, then our next step is gonna be here, this trend line, and then ultimately our last step is going to be over here. If we are still indeed uptrending, this would, if we do drop over all the way down here, this would be a higher low, so we would still be in the uptrending, you know, we would still technically be uptrending. So I'm watching to see what's going on here. I can see in the history of this supply zone. Let's check out AVGO. All right, with AVGO, look at this. All right, I do believe that we have a nice target over here at 889.94. I think AVGO is trying to come back to its highs of 919. All right, we had a huge move up historically, then coming back down. People tried to rally back up. You know, a lot of people took profits, and here we are back on our way up. So we're gonna see how this plays out with AVGO. But there's our target. Speaking of target, let's check it out. I got two trend lines drawn on target right now. If we break up above this trend line right here, I do believe that we'll hit 138.13. If we break down below this trend line, I believe we're going to be headed all the way back down. Roughly, we can say to start conservatively 126.80 as far as target's concerned. And we're looking at target on the daily right now. Let's check it out on the hourly just so we can see what's going on. And there you go. We do have a gap up here, and we do have a small, very, very, very small gap down here. And so we'll see what we can do as far as targets is going to be concerned. I'm going to be watching what we're going to be doing with these two trend lines above and below current price action. Looking at Intel, all right. Looking at Intel, same thing. We've been nice. Well, just more recently, I would say we've been above the 200-day moving average. Right now, as it stands on the hourly, we are above the 9, above the 20, and above the VWAP. Looks like we're having a hard time getting higher, though. This 200-day seems to be the place where the fight is happening. And so I can't call it yet on Intel. I gotta wait, watch, and see what we're gonna do. You know, it's easy to say, hey, we break up above 34.22, then we're gonna be moving up. I think that's an easier thing to say. Things are gonna be a little bit more clear for me as time moves on. I do see this trend line over here. We'll see if we can break up above this trend line. If that's the case, then we'll be moving up to 34.20. Otherwise, if we break down below this trend line, my next target is going to be this trend line. And then next after that, we're going to be moving all the way down to 32.01. Let's check out Lockheed and Martin. All right, with Lockheed and Martin, very interesting, nice little pattern that we've had here. You know, we would move up, hit this level, drop, come back up, hit this level again, this 466.23, drop, and now here we are on our way back up. So, you know, apparently there's a lot of sell orders up here, somewhere up here. Probably should have forgot to draw a supply zone somewhere around here, but you can see historically this is right around this point right here is where we dropped the first time. And now every time we hit this level right around here, that's 466.23, we tend to drop. So, you know, are we going back up to this level? I think that's very likely, very, very likely. Let's see what happens. Let's check out QCOM. You can see that we've been channeling ever since we dropped on QCOM. I got my fib levels here. Price has been acting fairly well with the fib levels here. So what's next for QCOM? Hard to say. Are we strong or are we weak? I think we're trying to get strong right now as we speak. We're above the 9, above the 20, above the VWAP, and above the 200-day. The question is, can we stay up there? You know, that's the question. So we did hit the bottom of the channel, a little bit of a channel here. Let's see if we can make our way to the top. The only thing that's going to be in our way is this 120.39 or this fib level right here. You know, we did have you could see we had a big some selling pressure somewhere around here. So we'll see what happens when we get up here. All right, let's check out Bud Light. Bud Light was doing really bad, but bad for quite a few days, but it looks like it's on its way up, trying to recover. We have a nice little higher low established over here. So, you know, here we are. We had a nice little run up, come down. Here's our higher low. Now we're trying to make our way back up. So very interesting. I wonder what we are trying to do right now with Bud Light, and let's see if they're going to be changing any of their antics. I'm going to go ahead and delete this trend line here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and delete that trend line right there, and we'll see what's going to happen. Let's see. I'm looking at let's go ahead and set a target right now. Let's go ahead and set a target roughly for around here. All right, I'm not sure how clean it's going to be, but I'm going to set a target right there, and that's what I'm going to be looking for. And I'm going to be looking for a nice little bull flag to carry me up into there. This is going to be target 1. I'm going to actually put a second target over here as well, and we'll put a second target right around here. This is going to be target 2 right here. So there you go, a nice little alert target. We got 2 targets here for Bud. Let's see if we can get it. Let's move right along to Uber. All right, looking at Uber, we had a nice little move up with Uber. Look at this big run up with Uber. Then after that, profit taking. Look at that, profit taking. Drop down below this purple line, which is our 200-day moving average. We drop down below that. All right, and then after that, we bounced right back up above it. Got really weak, dropped low really quick. You know, established a lower high. So here we are seeing lower highs. So we're still uptrending as far as Uber is concerned. I really want to see if we're going to fight to get to this trend line up here, or are we going to be dropping? That's what I want to know. Are we going to be dropping back to this trend line? That's what I'm going to be waiting and watching for. So I'm actually going to set up an alert over here. I'm going to set up an alert right around, I'm going to say here. Okay, I'm going to add an alert right there, and that alert, if I get that alert, I know that we're coming close to this trend line, and I'm going to be watching that. All right, we'll see what happens there. Let me see if there's another opportunity here. If we're another opportunity to move to the upside, and I'm going to be watching for a break up above this trend line here. Let me go ahead and add an alert on that trend line as well. All right, cool. All right, so let's go ahead and look at Baba real quick. Alibaba. Okay, Alibaba looking, I gotta say, looks pretty weak here on the hourly. You know, had a nice big drop. Looks like we are flagging on our way back down. And where are we going? I think we're gonna be going to the trend line. That's what I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and set an alert here. And these are the type of plays I really like. We'll see if tomorrow at open, this is something that I can enter. We'll see. I don't know. We could come to the trend line and move up. Remember, I'm looking for a trend line break and run that back to the trend line. You know, I still have this gap here because we didn't finish this gap. We got like such a small amount left on this gap, but we do have another gap right here. Okay, boom, boom, boom. We do have another gap right here. So the chances of us actually moving down actually increases. It's not certain. It's no guarantees. This is trading, guys. But we'll see if we can go ahead and get that drop all the way down to here and possibly down to here. If we get down this far, I think that we're gonna be moving down. I can say conservatively to 83 bucks if that's the case. So we'll see if we actually get that. But I got my alert set up on this trend line here. I'm actually gonna set up an alert on this trend line as well, just in case I missed the first one, and to see if we're gonna break down below that trend line for a bigger move down. We'll see if we get that. Alibaba's looking nice. Let's look at Roku. Roku's looking very similar to Alibaba, I have to say, but we are above the 9, we're above the 20, we're above the 200-day moving average. So for Roku, I'm just going to be watching, waiting, and seeing what's going to happen. Let's see if we can come back up to the 65.59 level right here. Maybe use that as a resistance and to be able to move down. we'll see. We get that would be a nice little break and retest and then continuation to the downside. Let's check out Netflix. All right, looking at Netflix right now, is Netflix weak or strong? It's hard to say. Right now we're in a little bit of a wedge. I want to see what's going to happen, whether we're going to break above the top of this trend line or this trend line right here. So I'm going to be watching, waiting, and seeing. Let's check out ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil looks a bit weak here on the hourly. We did drop below the 9, drop below the 20, drop below the VWAP, and here we are rejecting off of the 20 to the downside. Where could we be going? That's a great question. I think our first stop is going to at least be 106.8. All right, anything below that point, I gotta wait, watch, and see. This 200-day looks like a really good bounce point, but I'm not sure if we're gonna actually get that far. It's very possible. Look what happened over here. From the 9 and 20, dropped all the way down to the 200. Could we get that on ExxonMobil? I think that's very possible. At least that's what's presenting right now as we speak. Let's check out Meta. All right, looking at Meta right now. Meta is pretty much in a gap, trying to fill this gap. We talked about this not too long ago. All right, I'm going to go ahead and zoom out. We're looking at the weekly right now. All right, this is the 1-day gap. Okay, we've been talking about this since we were all the way down here. Right now, look at where we are. Right, so if you would have been taking these plays like I have been, and a few other people that I know have been taking them, Meta has been straight money. Every low point, every low, you could have got in, bought calls, and it would have been wonderful. Right now, I got to say, I'm looking at Meta on the weekly. On the weekly, looks like we might be moving down, but let's go ahead and check out. We got the daily here. You can see that we're just moving up and down in this channel on the daily here. Let's check out the hourly, and I would say the same thing here on the hourly. We're just channeling, and so I think a really good opportunity would be a break out of the channel. An even better opportunity is possibly waiting to either hit the 200 or hit the bottom of the channel for a move back up to the upside. All right, let's check out Microsoft. All right, Microsoft, I'm watching this trend line, all right, to the upside. I want to see if we can break that. Should we break that, I think we're going to be moving up considerably. I do have my target up here for Microsoft at 349.73. Let's look at QQQ. Same thing with QQQ. We did break a trend line to the upside. Looks like we are still looks like we're still moving up. We got a nice little bull flag happening over here. Similar angle. I love that as far as the trend lines are concerned. And we got our conservative target of 372. Let's check out AMD. AMD right now, not really much. Looks like it's just trying to get strong right now. It's riding the 9 on the hourly. That's good. That is a signature of a uptrend to the upside. And so what are we looking at? Uptrend to the upside, of course. What are we looking at right now? We were below. We dropped below the 200-day. That's this purple line right now, and we've found our way back above it. And so I think that we're trying to make our way back up. At least to start, I would be looking at this level right here, 117.72. I would say that's a level that I'll look out for my first target. So we'll see if we get there. We'll see if we actually make it. Not much there as far as my setups for AMD, but looking at NVDA, looks like we're still, I believe, on our way up. NVIDIA had a huge run up. We had a nice little pullback. I like this. And now here we are back on our way up. I do have a conservative target at 434.77. I do believe we have room to go beyond that, but we're going to have to wait, watch, and see. I'm looking for a bull flag to take this up to the target. Let's look at Apple real quick. Apple as well. Those HoloLenses are doing great for Apple right now. But I have two trend lines right now. We are obviously uptrending, so definitely a move to the upside is what I like to see. However, we are below the 9, below the 20, and below the VWAP, which are the dots over here. And so ultimately, we have two targets. We got a target to the weak side. I can see a scalp opportunity to take it weak should we break this trend line, and I can also see a more longer term possibility should we break this trend line to the upside. Conservative target 194. I do believe we can move a little bit higher than that. Amazon is looking right now, it's in the middle. Can't really call it whether it's looking weak or strong, but I can say overall, I can definitely say strong. You can see that we've been establishing nothing but higher lows. Here's one higher low. All right, here's another one, higher low. And so if we drop, I do see a scalp opportunity. And also we got to be careful because, again, we're setting up higher lows. So, when we're uptrending, you want to make sure if you're taking puts or going short in uptrends, you want to think scalps. And it's better to look at these plays on the higher time frames to make it worth your while. Let's check out Google. Oh, by the way, with Amazon, we do have this gap up here. It's been trying to fill this gap, but every time we touch this gap, drop, touch this gap, drop, touch this gap, drop. But every time we drop, though, we're establishing higher lows. So very interesting. We just touched this gap. I wonder if we're going to be dropping and wonder how low we're going to be getting. I think at the very minimum, maybe we can hit 128.51. We'll see. Let's check out Google right now as we speak. Google right now is channeling. It is in a channel within a channel. And so let's see how this plays out. As far as opportunities for Google to the upside, looks like it's trying to move back up to the top of this channel. I'd love to see it break up above this channel, which is the main channel, the big channel. All right, I got it in this smaller channel right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set up a trend line here, and I'm actually going to delete this channel here just so we can be no, actually I'm gonna keep it. If we break up above it, I'm gonna get an alert, break up out of the channel or break down out of the channel. So I'm gonna see what we're gonna do. We break up this trend line. I believe we're gonna be hitting not only the top of this channel, but the top of this channel would also put us at the top of this channel here, which is gonna be a great, I think that's gonna be a great trade, a great place to take profits. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla had a big move up, and that's all we've been doing is moving up. Look at that, beautiful. We hit its target, it came up, and now here we are right around this area. What are we gonna do with Tesla? I gotta wait, watch, and see. I can't call it right now. I gotta wait, watch, and see with Tesla, but we do have some price action that needs to be repaired down here. I don't think it's outside of the ordinary for us to be able to move down and repair some of this, maybe set up a higher low and then continue to the upside. We'll see if we get that. Now we're going to go ahead and check out lastly ES, which correlates with SPY and SPX. Okay, so if we're looking at SPX right now, we got some pretty big gaps below us. We got a gap over here. Okay, we got a gap over here. All right, we got a gap down here, 1 day gap down here. All right, and so these gaps have been filled, and so we got some gaps below us, but SPX is above the 9 to 20, above the VWAP, and it's looking fairly strong right now, but I'm wondering how long it's going to stay that way. If I'm looking at SPY doesn't look that much different at all, and so we want to be able to see what's happening. Usually up here, look what happens up here. There's something up here where every time we get up here, something up here, we touch it and we reject. Hard time closing above. Look at this right here. We just touched whatever this says up here. Every time we touch it, we reject. So it looks like there's something up here. There's sell orders up here. Might be a supply zone that we may be touching, and we may be going down right now. And so we'll see. And so looking at this right now in ES, okay, just to get a lot more clarity, I love to use ES as a source of truth. I got this trend line to the upside. If we break up above this trend line to the upside, we could see ourselves hitting the highs again. But if we do break down, I can see us, break down below this trend line. I could see a first target here at 44.83, next target over here, roughly around 44.79. And then after that, could we be possibly repairing this price action to the downside? We could actually go down here and still again be technically uptrending as long as we establish a higher low. So anyhow, guys, that has been this week's setup. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you decided to stay here with me. I appreciate that. I do have a new Discord coming out very soon, where all of these alerts that I'm setting up on these next week setups and throughout the week. These alerts, I actually have a AI built into the Discord that actually gives signals based off of the alerts that I put on the charts and based off a few other things out there to really assist everybody who's in the Discord to be able to stay profitable and to really ingrain our trade plan. But anyhow, if you want to know more about that, make sure that you join this free Telegram channel. Just go to Golden Setups, click on social, and then you'll see Telegram. Join the free Telegram channel because there's going to be a limited amount of people that I'm going to let in to start out with. All right. But anyhow, I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. And I look forward for all of you guys who are able to get in on the ground floor. But other than that, guys, have an amazing week. All right. Make sure you trade your setup. Make sure you trade confident. And please, please, please don't forget, live life. Take care.
Golden setups.